Well, this young lady is definitely asking all the right questions.
Files don't exist. Stephen King says that there ain't no list. Okay, Stephen, we get the gist. How many 14-year-olds have you kissed? Over 10?
Whoa, there. As of course, that's a lot of inconvenient questions, which you are actually going to be hearing in this particular video. This is Donald Trump has just thrown a whole bunch of people overboard when it comes to this power establishment Epstein-connected blackmail ring. As of course, what are the names that were named here? And what are the hundreds of thousands of documents waiting to be published going to contain, as Ghislaine Maxwell also is spilling the beans here, telling us over 100 names that were involved here, but what were they doing? What is really going on here as she was granted temporary immunity? All of this as hopefully, we're going to be getting the transcript and the details of everything that has emerged here from an administration that, let's be honest with ourselves, has been a little so-so when it comes to releasing the documents and being open, transparent, and accountable. But it looks like they definitely got the message, and things are changing in very interesting ways. Now, am I satiated? Am I satisfied? Well, it depends, and I will tell you where I am at the end of this video. And if you appreciate videos like this, subscribe, click the notification button. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys subscribing, and we value all the time that you spend with us, of course. As Donald Trump just came out and said Bill Clinton went to the island 28 times. As I always have said, it's kind of weird how Bill Clinton is totally obfuscated from the corporate media from any responsibility here at all, when it looks like his connections with good old Mr. Epstein were very, very close. Some would argue a lot closer than even Donald Trump himself, who, of course, has been seen privately partying and living the high life in the 1990s with Mr. Epstein himself as well. But here's the clip, as a lot of people are saying that Trump is now calling out all these other names, all these other individuals that are implicated in the story of the decade.
Well, I don't want to talk about that. What I do want to say is that Todd is a great attorney, but you ought to be...
I don't want to talk about that. Come on. I'm going to talk about it now.
Speaking about Larry Summers, you ought to be speaking about some of his friends that are hedge fund guys.
Yep, Larry Summers, another big name here that a lot of people just conveniently forgot. It's kind of weird how the liberal-oriented mainstream media forgets to talk about some of the biggest liberal, woke, globalist, secret society liberals that, of course, are a part here. Larry Summers, another big major player. And listen, Donald Trump continues to name names. And listen, these are the names. I'm surprised he didn't say Bill Gates and Reid Hoffman. But his one of Bill Gates' best friends is in his administration.
We're all over the place. You ought to be speaking about Bill Clinton, who went to the island 28 times. I never went to the island.
Do you maintain you did not write a letter for Jeffrey Epstein's birthday?
I don't even know what they're talking about.
He specifically was asked about the letter, and the media there's like, hey, are you still saying you didn't write this letter? As now there's even a Bill Clinton letter coming out that I think deserves just as much attention as the alleged letter that Donald Trump is denying, and it looks like he definitely is still not confirming the letter from the Wall Street Journal, as now there's a lawsuit between him and the Wall Street Journal surrounding this.
Now, somebody could have written a letter and used my name, but that's happened a lot. All you have to do is take a look at the dossier, the fake dossier. Everything's fake with that administration. Everything's fake with the Democrats. Take a look at what they just found about the dossier. Everything is fake. They're a bunch of sick people. Where did you see the people laying outside?
The sick people? Yeah, I agree. And that's why they deserve to be held responsible, and you have the opportunity to do that. And the longer you kind of wait here and don't do that, the longer, of course, predators are still out there hurting small children. As, of course, listen, say what you may. I think Donald Trump is finally now kind of realizing he can't walk away from this. And he's throwing some major figures under the bus here. Bill Clinton, the former president of Harvard, the hedge fund executive guys. When we look at the Epstein, it wasn't just child kind of extortion, trafficking, blackmail operation. It was also a lot of financial crimes that were committed here with some of the biggest banking institutions in the world. Okay, over $1 billion changed hands. There's reports, multiple reports, of Epstein's bank account literally being moved and activated after he allegedly met his demise. How did that happen? Where's all the money going to? As of course, there's financial transactions, and the FBI is really good. The banking system that we're under is really good when it comes to tracking and databasing every single to and from. Why can't we learn who and from the money went to? Oh, yeah. That's because he was intelligence. That's because he was funding a lot of intelligence as well here. As we also found out that the DOJ has over 100,000 pages of files related to Epstein that it reviewed, but, quote, decided not to publish. Now, that's a big aspect here that I think a lot of people really need to pontificate about, really need to ponder about. Why are there 100,000 pages not released to the general public right now that I think should be released? Why are those documents released? Now, before talking about that, and what I think is really going on here is I have some pressing questions that are really a little inconvenient for a lot of people here. Before talking about that, we wanted to tell you about LukeUnfiltered.com. Signing up, it's quick, it's easy, it's simple. The link down in the description. Click the link down in the description. Come here. Sign up for whatever you could afford to sign up for. Obviously, if you're struggling, don't sign up. But if you're doing all right, this is how you get one-on-one access to me in the Telegram channel. This is how we get to do our meetups. You guys finance. Even if you can't come to some of the meetups, listen, and I told you, they're going to be all over the world. We just did one in Milwaukee. We did ones in California. We did ones in New York. We're going to keep doing them all over the place. And eventually we'll get to you. But your memberships help finance this kind of bridging of the gap, this kind of networking event. The next one, August 1st in Poland. And if you want to come to that, you got to become a member of LukeUnfiltered.com. Again, not a lot of people in Poland. All right, I'm back in the motherland, as you can see here. And I love it. I just did a previous video about that, walking throughout the streets of Warsaw. So refreshing. So just amazingly just well maintained. And again, I'll be sharing more details in the private chat for our members. 13 plus years of exclusive videos centered around helping you become the best, strongest, most amazing version of yourselves. 3 masterclasses. You know it. Sign up, and I'll see you there. As of course, let's get back to this video, as we have a lot of things to discuss here. As Whitney Webb here points out that, quote, now that Trump is trying to deflect talk of the Epstein-Trump relationship by talking about the Epstein-Clinton relationship, the shift of the Epstein-Clinton relationship will almost certainly focus on Clinton's ties to Epstein after Clinton left office. We haven't seen that yet, to be fair, to all the people listening to this. But, it's something that Whitney is now saying is going to happen. We'll see if it does happen. So far, I haven't seen it happen myself here, but we just seen a kind of light mention of like, oh, yeah. Clinton and Epstein, they're close together, too. As she says, the ties will not touch the 17 visits on record. There's a bunch of other visits that are not on record. The 17 visits Epstein made to the Clinton White House. Quote, to do so would lead to many troublesome questions for the uniparty, such as who is Mark Middleton? What were Epstein and Wexner's actually using the CIA-linked airline Southern Air Transport for? Why was Robert Rubin the first person to invite Epstein to the White House? What was the Commerce Secretary Ron Brown due to testify about before he passed away in a suspected plane crash? If Trump actually wants to expose the Epstein-Clinton relationship, he should release all of the info on Mark Middleton, who, quote, passed on in a totally impossible self-harm way after Epstein's 2019 arrest. And the scandal, often referred to as Chinagate, ASAP. But he won't, because it involves his favorite ally nation state and some still powerful oligarchs doing very illegal things. Now, who's his favorite nation state? Well, the person connected to Robert Maxwell very closely, and that, of course, is Idaho. No, I'm kidding. The other I-starting nation inside of the Middle East. There's also new photos released by the New York Times of James Brown. Epstein, James Brown, and Donald Trump partying it up together. Very weird. type of photo here. Like, I really just want to know what in the world's going on here. All of this is Ghislaine Maxwell just testified to the DOJ as the Deputy Attorney General of the United States, Todd Blanche, came out and says that she talked about 100 people that were linked to Jeffrey Epstein. Yes, 100 people. As Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyer was asked about every possible thing you could imagine, everything. And, quote, this was the first opportunity she had ever been given to answer questions about what happened. The truth will come out about what happened to Mr. Epstein, and she's the person who's answering the questions. Now, a couple things to kind of consider here and to really kind of think about here. Specifically, when it comes to also other reports coming in that she was granted limited immunity. Now some people are like, how dare you give her limited immunity? Do you want her to talk or not? Okay, because she could probably spill the beans on stuff she did. That as long as it's truthful, if it implicates other powerful people, I mean, she's already in jail. Like, let's call the situation for what it is here. I don't think we should be too hypercritical and say, oh, no, we shouldn't have granted her limited immunity. No, but we also have to understand this is the backdrop of her working for a pardon here. Okay? It's pretty clear she's going to be in jail for a long time. I personally, if I'm in the decision-making situation, I'm like, listen, Ghislaine, you're in jail, right? You're going to be here for a while. I'm not going to make a pardon deal. I might just like dangle it, maybe. But I would say, listen, you're already doing your time. We're not going to punish you for whatever you say now, okay? You could tell us about all the children. Tell us about all the babies. Tell us about all the illegal activities. Tell us everything. And listen, you won't be held responsible for it. We won't punish you extraordinarily out of how you're already being punished now. So I think this is a smart move made by the Deputy Attorney General, and it will allow her to tell her everything. And then listen, hopefully she throws a whole bunch of people under the bus here. Now, Donald Trump was asked about this. I thought his answer regarding this was pretty interesting, too.
But a lot of people have asked about pardon. This is just not a time to be talking about pardons. Todd will come back with whatever he's got. You make it a very big thing over something that's not a big thing.
I think Ghislaine did a wonderful job. She literally answered every question. She didn't say, you know what, don't ask me that. I'm not going to talk about this person. She was asked maybe about 100 different people. She answered questions about everybody, and she didn't hold anything back.
Good. We don't want her holding anything back here. As, of course, Ghislaine Maxwell knows everything that happened. I believe it was Dershowitz that called her the Rosetta Stone of trying to understand everything that transpired here. There's a lot of accusations flying back and forth here, but she has the receipts. And listen, whatever she says, you still need to verify with other witnesses. You need to verify with other sources, any kind of evidence that's going on here. And listen, I just hope this testimony gets released. I hope the same thing that didn't happen that happened with the files, where it's like, oh yeah, we have them, they're on our desk. And it's like, no, we don't. Go home. I hope that doesn't happen again. And because of that happening here, there's a lot of mistrust, there's a lot of doubt here in this administration. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. How dare you tell us? They're on our desk. They're explosive. They're crazy. We're going to have arrests. And then you tell us, sayonara, sucker. How dare you ask a question? How dare you? How dare you want the files that we promised you? We promised you files. We promised you results. We promised you closure, justice, accountability from some of the worst powerful predators in the world. Now you're asking for them? Get out of here, you weakling. You're not even a Trump supporter if you're asking about that. And this meme is going viral right now, saying, here's how it's about to go down. Ghislaine Maxwell names a bunch of Democrats, maybe toss in a few billionaires. She says Trump did nothing wrong. MAGA praises her for taking down the predators. Trump pardons her for telling the truth. Listen, that's probably the game plan here. Let's just be honest with ourselves. As Robert Barnes here, another lawyer and friend of mine, I like Robert a lot. We share a lot of the same type of concerns about modern society. He says, Maxwell learned well from her father how to play the politician cards available to her. She is likely saying she will sing from whatever songbook they want if the Trump administration gives her a pardon or commutation, but might sing a different song if denied. That's true. That's true. As now we have to understand here, Trump's involved in a dangerous gambit because she could just come out. Trump says, bug off. Like, listen, I'm not giving you any pardon. Get out of here. And she could say, you know what? I saw Trump. I saw him, even when she didn't. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. I don't know. What's the truth here? Listen, this is why I think we need to vet everything. We probably won't be getting the full truth here. We're getting a truth here that is predominantly coming from a point of view and a perspective of someone trying to get it out of jail. As also, it was interesting to highlight how Ghislaine Maxwell was carrying a mystery box into her prison after the special testimony. She might also be testifying in front of Congress. What's in that box? Everyone started asking online, and I was like, oh, it's probably a Canadian self-assisted... Now, other people are saying, how does Trump believe the pimp in here? Some people are saying she could even be the kind of head honcho here. She could even be the main kind of gal calling all of the shots here. And there's a possibility, especially with her father's connections and how powerful she was, that Epstein was her stooge. And then she's really the mastermind. But a lot of people are saying, well, if we're interviewing Maxwell, we should interview some of the victims here. And this is what I mean about verifying everything that she says, that she alleges. Let's get some double confirmations here from the people that were around, that were involved. Let's find out what's really going on here, as there's obviously a lot of things that we sadly can't trust this administration on. And I wish we could. And I was, supporter of this administration. But their kind of handling of this was absolutely just deplorable, horrible, awful, and it highlights how there's a lot more questions than answers. As we're hearing reports from NBC News that they want to put a muzzle on these Epstein disclosures, as he is telling everyone inside of the administration that they better not say a word about these files or anything that's going on without a, quote, green light from the top, which is pretty much Donald Trump. All right. As right now, there are a lot of fast-moving parts here. I still want those 100,000 documents to be released here. Now, will they? I don't know. But until they do, there's still going to be a lot of questions. There's still more bewildering statements from Donald Trump here. And this is the kind of question that I think we should all be asking ourselves when seeing these statements. He says, quote, they have gone absolutely crazy and are playing another Russia hoax, but this time under the guise of what we will call the Jeffrey Epstein scam. Now listen, Donald Trump right now is unraveling how Barack Obama conspired, lied, manipulated information to specifically make sure that Trump's first term was usurped with all these Russian allegations. Now, if you're the Democrats, you left proof of that. You didn't delete that, but you allegedly deleted the Epstein files? Tell me, how does that make sense, logically? Like, I don't know. Listen, explain it to me like I'm a child. Because otherwise, I'm kind of having the questions here. So you're telling me these criminal grand masterminds left receipts of them orchestrating the Russian collusion, but they manipulated and deleted files from the Epstein documents. Why wouldn't they delete both of them? I don't know. That's just a question that I personally have here myself looking at here, because they tampered, manipulated, destroyed Epstein files, but not the Obama Russian hoax. What's going on here? As right now, listen, there's a big game being played here, as Barack Obama was just announced that he's protected from any kind of wrongdoing since he has immunity. Why does he have immunity? Donald Trump declared it. Why did Donald Trump declare that Barack Obama has immunity here? Okay, many people believe Barack Obama should be. I believe so. He extrajudiciously assassinated American citizens, 7 of them. 7 American citizens. He signed off. One was a teenager from Colorado. Signed off. Yeah, we're going to execute this kid. Send out the drones. I mean, come on. Are you freaking kidding me? You're not going to get... I'm going to do another video on this. I still got a lot more to talk about. There's a lot of other things that I want to talk about, specifically when it comes to the T app. That's a very interesting story, as well as the story of Susie Willis. I also want to talk about what else is going on with the alleged asteroid. There's an alien asteroid. I'll talk about that. That's what kind of videos you could expect here on this channel. Subscribe, click the notification button. I love you guys. I want to be here if it wasn't for you guys signing up to lookunfiltered.com. I can't thank you guys enough for doing that. Stay tuned for more, all here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.